What is up, my peoples? What's going on, guys? Time for our first dual sport ride. Well, here we are. This is Route 67 that you're looking at. Heads up to Rampart Range and on past it down to the Platt River. And I'm not sure if I'm going to make this one video or two. Probably end up making it two, because I want to do, there's 18 miles of nice dirt road that's absolutely beautiful on the other side of the mountains, and it might be a little bit long. Over there is some nasty weather. I was kind of watching it coming in, but we're going to be going that way, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. And the reason I'm sitting here talking for a minute is because I wanted to let those cars go, because this road is full of fun and awesome twisty turns. So here we go. Let's go have some fun. Now, as I explained before, I'm still kind of a new rider, so don't expect me to be dragging a knee or anything, but also coming back down here is a little bit more fun. This is one of the rides that I like to take after work because it's a lot of fun. And it's pretty close. I mean, it should take about 35-40 minutes to get here, but driving through traffic near Denver and the highways and stuff is a pain in the butt. So either you take the highway and you sit there and let the bike overheat, or you take the back roads and sit at red lights. Pretty much sucks either way. I'm not exactly sure what the name of this canyon is or whatever it's called, but I was up here maybe a month or so ago when those big wildfires were going on out here, and I went left instead of where we're gonna go today, which is right, and got stuck in between two road closures. I was basically right in the middle because there was a wildfire over here on the right hand side where we're about to go, so I don't know, we might see some burned areas. At some point I'll do a video through all the burn, and a couple of the OHV areas that Stace and I might go ride at got burned out pretty bad. It's gnarly, but so yeah, I stopped at the end of the dirt road. Well, this turns into a dirt road on down, you'll see. But I stopped at the end of the dirt road, and there was a bunch of cops and Forest Service people keeping me from going right. And I sat there and chatted with them for a little bit, and I was like, well, am I right if I go left? Because the road down there along the river is awesome too, so I'll just go that way, and then I can come back and just go back up here, get home nice and easily. And they said, yeah, that's fine, you know, go ahead. So I go down and wind along the river, and I mean, it's probably 20-25 miles, and I get to the end, and there's a cop sitting there at a little place called Decker's, and she's telling me I'm not allowed to go back. And I was like, look, lady, I either have to go all the way down to Colorado Springs, which is going to be awful, or go all the way out to 285, which is way the hell out of the way. So I was like, you know, being really nice to her, being cool. Are you sure you won't let me go back by? And she's like, I'm really not supposed to. I was like, well, I started telling her about the DRZ and chatting her up a little bit, and was like, yeah, going 80 miles an hour on this thing on a 4-lane highway, a 4-lane interstate, I mean, it can happen. It's just not fun at all. I mean, you get blasted by the wind, and the helmet that I wear has a visor, so, you know, your head's getting blown around all over the place. It's just not the most fun thing to do. So I said, all right, well, I'm gonna go. There's a dirt road across from Decker's that I wanted to go check out. Apparently leads to a Boy Scout camp. So I went on down there and checked it out. And on the way back, I stopped at her again, and I was like, hey, are you sure I can't go down there? I was like, there's all kinds of people down camping along the river, and this is just gonna really suck for me. And she was like, alright, I'm gonna let you go, but if you see anybody meaning any cops or forestry people, flashing lights basically, you have to stop and turn around if they tell you to. And I was like, lady, you're awesome. And by then I was getting really low on fuel, so I knew I had exactly enough to get back down here into Sedalia, which is at the bottom of the hill, kind of where I stopped. And I made it. It smelled like smoke. The sky was red. There were embers floating around it. I didn't actually see any fire, but it was very, very obvious that it was close. And the first guys that I talked to said it was actually about 5 miles from where I was. Or 3 miles, I'm sorry, 3 miles from where I was. And I'll show you, once we come down a little bit over here, there was a helicopter parked in a clearing, which was very ominous. But it was one of those really, really tiny helicopters with super duper long blades. Obviously for dropping water on the fires. And as I was coming back up this road, there was all types of all-terrain vehicles coming up, and you know, the guys with the axes and those fire drop teams, and I mean, those guys just worked all the beginning of the summer, and much respect to them. A lot of people in Denver, or people that just don't really hang out in the woods much, don't quite understand that those fires are natural. They're supposed to happen. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. It's not a laughing matter. But, you know, people are losing their homes. Yeah, that's awful. But in the forest, fires are natural cleansers. They clean out the underbrush. They enrich the soil. They serve a whole bunch of functions to allow for new growth and things like that. For a couple of years, I lived in a forestry grad student log cabin with my wife before we were married. She wasn't a forestry student, but it was 7 girls, all forestry grad students, my wife and myself for a little while. So I got to learn a lot of things from woodsy chicks. Woodsy chicks are cool. You know, lots of campfires, lots of beer drinking. We had a really nice fireplace right behind the cabin. We used to sit out there, and they'd have Penn State parties and whatnot. You know, it was in the middle of nowhere out behind the airport, so you could easily have 75, 100 people there, no problem. What we're going by right here is Rampart Range. It's an OHV area. Used to be all motorcycles, but now it's quads and motorcycles. It's one of the scarier OHV areas up here because it's so close that a lot of people go there on the weekends, and a lot of the trails are so skinny that you can only fit one four-wheeler going one way, and all of the trails are two-way, not one-way. So right over here in this little clearing to the right down there is where that helicopter was. He's parked right there, so I was kind of creeped out when I saw that to begin with. Oh, but Rampart Range, yeah, the trails are really nice. They're nice and smooth. They're not super rocky or anything, but skinny enough only for one quad to be going, and some areas have a straight drop off down the one side and are up against the mountain on the other side. So coming around blind corners with people who may be new to riding quads and not exactly being careful and going faster than they should can be awful scary. So we've been up there once. I actually took Scott's quad because it was right when I got the DRZ, and I wanted to check it out, and didn't have much experience riding, and hey, four wheels are gonna be better than two for just checking it out and seeing if it's alright to ride up there. But yeah, we saw it. We saw a good portion of it. I'm sure there was a lot more to see. And I think I would probably feel comfortable hitting a lot of it with the DRZ now that I have some more experience and can handle riding. But definitely will only be doing that on a weekday. Preferably early, earlier in the day. Because coming around there, and what are all those porta potties for? Huh, I wonder if there's going to be something going on there soon. Pretty cool, kind of a cool place to have a concert or something, right in the middle of the valley. But yeah, early in the morning when nobody's there, because I don't want to have a head-on collision at 30 miles an hour with somebody on a Raptor. Just doesn't sound nice. There are tons and tons and tons of YouTube videos from up there, all labeled by trail number and trail name. So there's not really too much of a point of going up there and trying to map out the whole place and doing videos for each trail. It's already been done. But you can go check it out. Up here on the right, there's an archery range, which is interesting. I haven't seen an archery range since living in Pennsylvania up in the mountains. No guns allowed, unfortunately, but there are plenty of places to go shoot around here. But I went up and checked it out last time. Actually, yeah, when I was talking about seeing that fire. So yeah, right up here to the right. I went up there and checked it out. It's just on back up there a little ways. Nothing really to see, or else I'd take you guys up there and show it to you. But met a couple of people that were sitting up there that actually had four-wheelers on trailers. I guess they were looking for trails. Chatted with them for a little bit. And talking about the fire, and they said that they had just seen the fire crew come walking through there. But yeah, there's nowhere to ride up there. There's looks like an old forest road, but it's gated off, and there's rocks all around it. And they're really particular in Colorado about staying on the trail, hence why their trail site is called staythetrail.org. I should probably get them to sponsor me. I think that's the second time I've mentioned it in 2 videos, so if anybody from Stay the Trail sees this, Remy could use an extra camera for more angles. But we're coming down here now, and I wish these people were going faster. Sometimes people are really cool on this road and they'll let you go by. But you're starting to get in to see, if you look up there, that's what this whole area is like. It's just gorgeous. Apparently houses out here are fairly expensive. I didn't realize that. I would think, you're so far away and in the winter it'd be such a pain, but this is really the first summer that I've been down here, and I can understand why it's so expensive. For those interested, we're coming down to the bar at Rampart Range, there's a famous trail called Bar Trail. It'll show you the entrance too. I haven't been up it yet. I was kind of thinking about taking it on the way back if it's still light enough, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Depends on how much time we have. But right here it splits. If you go off to the left, it goes down to the same road, which is 67. It just takes for flipping ever. It's far as hell that way. But if you go to the right, that's Bar Trail. But if you go to the right, the way that I go, it's much shorter. But here starts the dirt. And there's an awesome hill climb on down here. You gotta watch out, because people on Subarus will come flying through here. People dragging trailers and everything. Just gotta be a little bit careful. But this hill climb I'm definitely gonna video on the way back up if it doesn't make it into the other video. I will put it in this one for sure. But yeah, a couple of people were saying on the other video, you can't really tell how steep it is. Well, this one is really steep. Once we get to the hill climb, it's not extremely steep here. But you'll see it'll probably be second gear, letting the engine brake do all of the work. And even some on the brakes. It got really nastily washboarded, which kind of sucks. But there's not too much you can do about it. Just stand up and fly over it. So I was talking about the cabin at Penn State and the fires. So by cabin, I really mean log mansion. As I said, it was 9 people living there, but this place was huge. It probably had 30 feet of counter space in the kitchen at least. It was all heated by wood. It had a giant wood stove with a huge hearth in the living room. And the only place that actually had baseboard electric heat were the bedrooms. And most of the girls were poor college students. Stace went back to school a couple of years after high school, so she had already been working and had a full-time job the whole time she was in school. So she was the only one that really ran her heat or got an air conditioner. And I don't know how they lived in there without heat and air conditioning, because that wood stove, I mean, it was nice and super warm in the kitchen, but or not in the kitchen, in the living room, common areas, but in the bedrooms it was freezing. There was one girl there that slept with a Sub-Zero sleeping bag, which I thought was hilarious, because why? So right here is where it goes, straight down. I don't know why an 18-wheeler would be out here sign, but I've seen stranger things. Nice and easy on the way down. Hey, you hear that? That's second gear. All right. But that's not it. It continues to go pretty much straight down. If you take the road the other way, the long way that I told you about, it goes on the other side of this mountain. So there's a couple of entrances to Rampart Range trails there. One of which we hit, called Log Cabin. It's actually the entrance point that we use the only time we've been up there. But it goes like winds straight up through a valley, and you end up with some amazing overlooks. I hope the weather's going to cooperate. I really wanted to go take a ride yesterday down here. Actually, so much that I posted it on Facebook. But it just looked gnarly. I say gnarly a lot. Hope you guys don't mind. I guess that's one of those words. But anyway, it looked nasty. There we go. And I have rain gear, kinda. But riding in the rain and in the mud and trying to do a video just didn't sound like it was going to go well together. So anyway, I said, okay, I'll wait a day. Hopefully today it's going to be beautiful. Hello, thanks for the dust. So I just want to say thank you to all my new subscribers. You guys are awesome. I wasn't really sure what the first video was going to turn into and how it was going to go. I didn't even have any decent editing software. It was all done with Windows Movie Maker, so sorry about that. But I did get a copy of some good editing software in the mail, and gonna learn how to make that with this video. That's kind of what I was itching for yesterday. So I was like, great, a day where I can't go ride, and I wish I had some footage so I could start learning my new software, maybe make an actual intro and all that stuff. But I guess that's what tonight and tomorrow will be for. So right here, dead ahead, is the Platt River. Lots of people like to come out here and go fishing. And, Deckers, there you go. Deckers is really far that way. And we will definitely be going down that road. But today, we're gonna go right.